Welcome to the future, and today we're taking a look back at our best videos and counting down our picks for the top 10 best moments of 2018. Enjoy. I think it's really important that when we look at designers that we admire, that we take a moment to look at they weren't always that way. So it was a rare opportunity that we got to look at Emily's portfolio and talk about her journey as she started out as an intern, and then as my student, and then as a designer that was on staff for us here at Blind/The Future.
I have Emily Chia with me, graphic designer extraordinaire. And today we're gonna look through her very first portfolio, through all of her projects, ask a bunch of embarrassing questions, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It doesn't matter if you're designing a logo, a poster, a style frame, or anything. The rules of hierarchy are equally important. You need to be able to control the eye. And in this video, Matthew expertly explains how to do just that.
What the end user needs to read, they need to read this first, this second, and then these elements third. All of these leading lines in the frame that's helping point our eye and direct our eye at the key thing. If we're looking at everything as a whole, now you can see that all the contrast point is right here. That's where our eyes are going.
One of the great things that I learned about our very next guest is to learn how to be yourself, to love your true authentic self and share it with the world. Most of us as creatives are afraid of sharing this, and he gives us all courage and inspiration that if you do this, you can actually become not only an amazing influential designer, but you can be a voice for all the people who identify with your true authentic self.
You know, at the airport, when the guy goes, "Hey, big guy," you know, hand me your, at the TSA, and I'll go, "Hey, medium-sized guy." When I wasn't true to myself, I found myself, and this is going to sound pretty rough, pretending to want to do a Nike job here in Portland, Oregon. But when I sat in that meeting and was like, "You guys, I don't run." Like, if you're a Nike running person and you weigh 111 pounds and you like eat bark and, I run all day. That's great. Must be nice. I'm going to die any minute. But I can't pretend to be out there and be an authority on that shit. That's being disingenuous.
Her story is so inspirational. Not only is she a career switcher, she's also self-taught, and she's gone on to become a top social influencer. She was able to give us some really valuable tips that are rather unconventional.
So this is you, and it looks like you're holding up a napkin above as a bounce card.
Yeah.
I was a little shocked that a lot of your photos are taken with a smartphone. Then the post-processing really makes it go from a snapshot to being like very artful. So here's another one, before and after.
She encourages all of us to incorporate our story and not just show our work.
You use a very sad point in your life. You're going through the divorce, you had this 1-year-old, and you start shooting, but you put a lot of personality in your posts. Is that what got people to notice you?
I also transitioned into started dating again, and like people would be like sitting together and talk about like, do you think he's gonna date this guy, or is she not dating this guy? So that was like made me realize the power of sharing.
Sagi Haviv has probably given us the most definitive answer as to what makes for a good logo and consequently also for a bad logo. And the answer surprised all of us.
A logo is not communication. The logo is identification. The logo is the period at the end of the sentence. It is not the sentence itself. You can say a lot about yourself, in advertising, in marketing, whatever outreach. But the logo is meant to identify you strongly and clearly. And the less it says, the better.
The holy grail of bidding is value-based pricing. And it's been explained by many people in many ways, but we've never been able to find another person that has explained it so clearly as Jonathan Stark.
So once I'm convinced that this is an urgent project, I will ask, why would you hire someone expensive like me? I mean, you know that I'm going to be probably the highest priced option that you're considering. Why don't you guys do this in-house? You mentioned that you have a design team, and they'll tell me why. Like, we tried that, it didn't work. They'll explain to me why all of the cheaper options are not alternatives that they want to choose. If I'm convinced that there's a good fit here, that the project that they want to do is a good one, that the that it is urgent and it needs to be done now, and that they're willing to go with an expensive option for some good reason, then I'll say, all right, this seems like a good fit. What would a home run look like? What if I knock this out of the park, how will we know? Because my goal is to deliver 100% customer satisfaction. So I want to know how to satisfy you 100%. So what does that home run look like?
I know this seems like the elusive unicorn that you can actually charge money for your thinking. People have been wondering, Chris, how do we do this? With a very short amount of coaching, she's been able to go from charging $0 for thinking, giving that away to everybody, to now charging $5,000 and more. And she's completing the transition from a design practitioner to design and brand strategist.
Okay, pretend like I'm a client. Like, ding dong. Hey, Melinda, I want to work with you. I saw your work.
Again?
I'm looking to rebrand.
Oh, you're looking to rebrand. Okay. So have you thought of a certain budget? Do you have a certain budget set aside for this?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, well, what makes you want to rebrand? Do you want your company to grow as far as sales, as far as attracting a certain kind of customer? What does that look like? Because those things like the logo, the rebrand are more of a vehicle to get you to the goal, or a task to get you there, but they aren't the end goal.
If you want to know how the biggest, most influential firms are tackling branding with creativity and creating things that stand out, you're definitely going to want to listen to every word of wisdom that Brian Collins is going to share with you. He is considered one of 5 master designers from Fast Company. I'm not even going to try to paraphrase it. He's too smart, too good. Listen up.
Brands live in 2 places. And one's an internally facing question, which is about authenticity, is about who we are as a company. And then relevance, which is an externally facing question, which is what is the world looking for and how are you congruent with the culture? I don't think that's true anymore. I think it is about still being authentic, but not being relevant, about being remarkable, about being extraordinary, about being amazing. Because if you're not extraordinary, no one's going to pay attention.
One of my favorite clips from 2018 was when we were doing a role play session in Edinburgh with Sarah. She had questions about how to deal with clients who offer her low budgets, and the response surprised her.
We have a project for you to do some branding.
Love it.
The budget is £2,000 and we'd like to start working ASAP.
I think I know what you want. I'm just not sure I'm the guy to do it for you.
One of the things I taught her was to retreat and follow. When you retreat, you see if the client's going to lean in to chase after you. It makes them prove to you, and more importantly to themselves, why they should work with you.
Just out of curiosity, what's motivating this conversation today? What are you trying to get done?
This is the critical point in the conversation, when the client actually stops asking you to prove yourself and they actually lean in to listen to what you have to say. And you move from being an order taker to a trusted consultant. Why is it that some designers can charge 100 times, 10 times, or double what you charge? What are they doing differently? The answer isn't what you think.
Your value is determined by the quality of the questions that you ask. So let's figure out what are some low value questions and some high value questions.
If you're the designer that I think you are, you're really good with understanding detail.
The detail questions make you an order taker. Like, do you want fries with that? What shade of red do you want? How big should the typeface be? High value questions get to purpose. They tend to cause people to be more reflective. So if somebody asks you to do something, ask them, why is this important? Why do you believe that to be true? So we ask questions to surface deeper meaning.
Start with why questions, how questions, and get to the deeper rooted problem. That's how you raise your value. All right, guys, that was a look back at our top 10 greatest moments of 2018. Which did you think was the best moment? Did we get this right? What's your favorite moment? Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.